So I wanted to give you a real quick overview of Spark Lead Management System. Basically, it is a tool where all of your phone calls and all of your web form fill-outs on your website are piped into a single reporting tool where we can capture the interactions with the customer from your sales team, some details. We can move them through that sales process into your internal paperwork process or any other third-party tools that you may be using. Spark Lead Management System really just gives us those nuts and bolts that we need to make sure every opportunity that comes in the door is moved through a process. That process is easily defined and fairly simple. So I will pop in and grab some quick details here. And basically, all your leads come in with new status. And when we've created an action on that individual customer, we can update their individual status to reflect what actions that we're doing. So a uh, quick tutorial on here. This is a demo that I did, but basically we have these quick update statuses where we can change the status. We can find individuals based on some filters. Um, so now we'll see any test, all the polls come up in the list, and we can start manipulating this information from a salesperson's perspective. So as an example, we just set this one to active. Um, if I made contact with them, I can add a note. Um, Made contact, waiting on cabinet install completion. Real simple note. Swap it over to pending. Now the interface changes colors. We can see just pending ones. We can see, this is everything. This is just news. This is active, so forth. So we can quickly filter based on the actions that we're that we're going to be taking on those leads. If we have received a deposit, signed a contract, things like this, we have additional statuses that we can use. In process is kind of a bucket for all of those statuses. This gives us an opportunity to basically, this becomes a sale, means you've got internal paperwork or your internal process that you're using today to track your customers. And then once we receive final payment, we're able to record that, and it comes up in our lead list as a completed job. And apply that filter again. Right, so now we see this as a completed job. If this was a bad lead and we didn't want to see it anymore, we simply hit dead. We give it a reason, spam, save, and now that one is actually no longer going to be. It will be in this list, but it is no longer in the default list. Right, so you've cleared it out of there by setting it to dead. If for whatever reason we need to resurrect that, right, we can come back in here and pull it back to the front by simply changing the status back to in process. It doesn't have to be that one, but that's the process for doing so. Excuse me. So so that's the basic overview of Spark. Anytime we create an event, that event can we can have callbacks. We can change the various different statuses of them. When we add an event, we can associate it with another user in here so that they get the reminder, and then we simply set the date for when the reminder is to go out, right? And this is a callback. Ask about uh, cabinet cab install status, right? So that's going to now create a callback um, on the 11th, right? This one, going to delete that older one, right? So now we have this set from the future. On the 11th, I'll receive a notification saying you're scheduled to call back Paul Gallagher. Here's his information about the status of the cabinets. Um, so yeah, that's sort of the initial nuts and bolts of the system. How we move the customer from new active, meaning that we're actively trying to pursue the customer. We've taken the first steps to call them, email them, request where they are in the process, whatever. And then with that active status, we want to have a schedule. We call them back today. This is the first day we've seen the lead. We reach back out to them and try to move to that pending status where we're waiting for something, whether it be an appointment, whatever. We move them to the next step from that active. If we don't reach them that day, we call back the next day. Based on that, this creates a schedule of time that we attempt to make that initial contact. Once we're in pending, now we're waiting for cabinets, or we're waiting for the customer to go look at material, or we're waiting for the customer to come in for an appointment. Whatever we're waiting for, we want to schedule a reminder for ourselves that this action is supposed to be taking place. And then as your user account, you're able to easily see your schedule for any given day on the calendar. When these people are coming in, stuff like that, you can print this out, for your own use, however you see fit. The system isn't rigid in that it's forcing you to do things, but this information is then sent to every morning to your manager, and the manager then can see what's active, what's pending, what's in process, what needs more work, what needs more attention, stuff like that. And then my team is able to look at the activity going on here, see things that are moving forward, address specific issues or whatever. And we also can review any of the bad leads that have been set, so that we can make sure that there isn't a theme in here where certain things are happening, certain data is not good, and we can find those reasons, or we can connect the dots between a marketing program and what's causing a lead to be bad, so that we can increase the performance, increase optimization, things like that. So everybody's actually able to work on all of these leads in their particular role in real time, providing consistent forward movement and tracking the sources of all of your leads in real time. So that was a little bit longer than I had planned, but hope you enjoyed this. And we do have the starter program where you can get access to this, and also integrate with your website with a new form and new call to action for your consumer. So give us a shout if you're interested, or simply try out the starter package, and then we can get you onto the Spark system as soon as you're ready.